My baby. I like you so much. Talk about my jammies or my avatar? Not that I know of right now. Shadow's setting some stuff up. I just checked the stream and I can hear it and it looks good. We just tested the mic and the other thing. My only other question for Shadow is if you found a collaborative writing tool for the event. I think that's all we need after that.
Mic check 1, check 2. Mic check, mic check.
So far, like, I'm able to connect my camera and
Hey, I'm here. Yeah, I can hear you fine. Can you hear me? Okay.
Yeah, hey, how's it going?
Doing all right? Everybody good?
Yeah, everybody's good. So, Shadow, we got a decent Shadow. Yeah, that's interesting.
Hello.
Hello.
Check, check. Mic 1.
Hey.
Did you see your booth yet?
No, I went in there, but I didn't see it. It's in the expo hall, right?
It'll be in the yes, Shadow. Okay. Hold on just a second, Shadow. Hey, can you hear me better? Awesome. Yeah. Okay, hold on a second. Stop talking just a second. Okay, hold on. Stop talking a second. Yeah, I can't hear you on the stream for some reason.
La 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 la. La 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 la. All right, so you should have heard all that.
Well, there's a delay, so I'm not sure yet.
Yeah, there's going to be like a 30-second delay.
Yeah, I eventually heard it. Yeah.
You did? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, then that's it. Then I'm just gonna have to leave my Zoom muted. The only problem with that is if there's any background noise in the room I'm in, that'll come across too. But it works.
Awesome. Well, you know, for my priorities, like I see this as a chance to troubleshoot the tech, but really I'm looking to troubleshoot this event to possibly work as an in-person event, to work as a digital event. So I'd really love, you know, that kind of feedback too. So as long as you feel like the streaming doesn't take you away from being able to kind of troubleshoot that part with me, I'm good to go.
Yeah, I mean, as far as the streaming goes, if you can still hear me in the echo.
Yeah.
Yeah, as far as the streaming goes, it's pretty much doing its own thing. You know, we're just recording live and broadcasting it to YouTube. So, you know, I think that part is fine. And so, yeah, I think I should be able to help you troubleshoot. I think where it gets a little hairy for me is if there are other people that need help in the world, and I have to run off and go.
You know, I don't know if more than 6 or 8 people are going to show up. So I'm hoping that like our people right now are kind of acclimated to what they need to do. So I think what I'm going to do is go talk with Yogi and see if we can set up this collaborative tool. If you could help just me usher everyone into the expo hall, maybe send out a message, then we can get started. And so
actually we can craft a message right now, so let's try that.
Okay, sure.
All right, what do you want to say?
Just say we're excited you're going to be a part of the after party. Please meet in the conference hall at your earliest convenience.
We are excited you are going to be a part, if I can type. Hold on. You're going to be a part. All right, sorry, what's the rest?
Start it with thank you for coming to our Renga writing activity.
Okay, hold on, pause. To our Renga writing activity?
Yeah.
Okay.
We are happy you're going to be a part of our after party.
Oh, you know what? Hold on. from broadcast. All right. Thank you. Sorry, I had to start all over again in Slack. Coming to our Renga writing activity. Okay, got it.
We appreciate you being a part of our after party.
We appreciate you being a part of our after party. Period.
Please meet us in the conference hall at your earliest convenience.
Meet us at the conference hall at your earliest convenience. Okay.
Cool. If you put that out, I'll go to the conference hall and troubleshoot with Yogi. If you could kind of scoop some people up, and we'll get started as soon as everyone's in there together.
Perfect. All right. I'll be right there as soon as I send the message.
All right, great.
All right. And let me know, with a chat or something that you got the message.
All right, cool. All right, but reminder, you got to write the second haiku, so we'll see.
Oh, shit. I forgot.
You're on deck, so
I got to write the first one or the second one?
Second one.
So you're starting it off.
I'm starting it off.
Okay.
All right, we'll see you in a second.
All right.
Hello, can you hear me? Everybody hear me?
I can hear you.
Hey, look at you guys.
Hey. So we've got our cameras and mics working a lot better since yesterday.
Yeah.
So question, can people hear all the way back there, or do they have to be at this blue area? Shadow?
They have to be in the blue area.
So can you guys hear me now?
I can hear you outside of the blue area.
No,
Okay, cool.
yeah, exactly. To control the panels, you need to be in the blue area. But everybody should be able to hear you, no matter where you are.
Cool. Gotcha. And then I come back on. So yeah, Yogi, my question about that app is, can we write a linked verse together there, or can only one person access that at a time?
It's looking like only one person, but I don't see it on the screen.
I see it on the middle screen.
I see it on the screen.
Write something.
Okay, so here we go.
Press any key to make it work.
For whatever reason, I'm not able to type. Hold on. Let me...
And I see Mr. Fun in here, but I don't see his avatar.
Is
So
he
let me also
hiding?
try this. Let me also try this too. share my desktop, which looks wild at first. I meant to share this one.
Ooh, look at that. So I can see you inside the world, inside the world.
Yeah. Share this one on the side. And then I can pull up. Does it show the Google Doc?
I have no control.
Hold on.
Shadow, is it showing my Echo Space world or is it showing the Google Doc I pulled up?
What screen should I be looking at?
Oh, maybe it disconnected. All right, hold on. Let me try again. Side stage.
Are you talking about stage left?
Stage left, yes.
Okay.
All right, so there we go again.
Yes, I can see your avatar, and now I can see. Yeah, I can see a Google Doc.
So worst case scenario, we could just email everyone access to this doc, and I can keep it connected, and we could do it that way. But I didn't know if there was like a collaborative app that we could all use.
I see.
I think that might be the best way to do it. There's like a link everybody can get and put in the chat.
Yeah, oh, that's the best idea. Yeah, instead of just emailing people, then people can just copy the link. Perfect.
Are you gonna make it a public doc?
Yeah, I can make it public.
Yeah, make it public.
Share.
Let me see if there's an app that does typewriter sounds with the Google.
Well, that's some extra. I just want to make sure that everyone can access it and we can share. So let me stop sharing for a second. What are you doing over there? Okay. Okay. In this paste. Let me try again. Link. Paste. Bam. All right. Can everyone access that Google Doc?
Let me check.
And there is one. Or two or three, there's a couple.
To what? Oh, the.
Okay, I don't see.
Yes, I can, but I can't do anything in it.
Can't do anything in it?
No. I'm trying to hit enter.
Make sure that it's
Haiku in echo space. A rippling water sound across the shadows. Wow.
All right, try it now. You might need to exit out and re-click the link.
Yep.
You can edit it.
Can you see it?
Boom.
Try it now. Oh.
Yeah, I just sent a link again and see if you can edit it now.
I was in it typing.
Yeah, I see Yogi type her name.
All right, let me see if I can share desktop.
Okay.
But, all right, there you go. So you guys can see.
Probably could have used a website, honestly. That's open and people could have typed in there.
Let me see what this looks like, sounds like.
So yeah, I tried to enter the website, but I can't copy and paste the issue.
Okay. That's dope though. I just don't hear anything. Hold on.
Oh, here we go. Paste. Let's try this. Oh, does that work? Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at that. All right. Oh, Shadow, is that you, Anonymous Chickmunk?
I don't know. I might be.
Someone is right. Someone is breaking the rules. The court has decided how to write Oringa. We got to follow the rules. Got you.
What court? I was not part of a court. What am I? I can't tell. Can you guys see me typing? What does it say when I type?
You are anonymous ferret.
Anonymous parrot. Ferret.
Ferret.
No, that's not me typing. Court of questions.
I see who the terrorist is. It's my partner Siren over there.
Okay.
Aha.
I would never.
And the two of us might be a little echoey because we're in the same room. So let us know if we need to remedy that.
Oh no, y'all sounded good. Hey everybody.
Well, Siren's being bad because the second haiku is supposed to be written by the host of the event, which is Shadow. Oh, no. Yeah.
The second haiku, what?
All right, are you guys ready to get started? You wanna try this out? And wait, so let's see if I can hook up my
Can you do me a favor? Henzbo? Can you make the font way larger for those who might be watching on the live stream?
There will be future acts.
Okay. And let's see. Can y'all see me doing this?
So you doing what? What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Okay, hold on. This thing is called... Don't mind me, I'm just...
I won't.
Moonwriter.
Hold on just a second.
Moon typer. One of those.
All right, Siren is left to go put comfy pants on. And as soon as comfy pants are on, we're gonna get started with this.
Comfy pants.
Comfy pants. You guys got comfy pants?
Yes, I'm wearing comfy pants now.
Shadow, you having a drink?
No, that's a good idea actually. Hold on.
Yeah, I don't know if Yogi, Amanda, I don't know if you are an imbiber, but I'm about to pour myself a drink and we'll get started in just a couple minutes, okay?
Okay.
Can somebody check the live stream and see if you can actually hear
I'll
music?
check it real fast. Hold on 1 second.
All right.
All right, it says you're live. I see you standing there. Hold on one moment. Oh, I can hear me saying hold on 1 second, so we should be fine. I can hear the music. All right, it says you're live. Standing there. It's a massive amount of delay. Hold on one moment. Oh, it's a delay. Oh, I can hear me saying hold on 1 second, so we should be fast.
All right, can everybody hear me okay?
I can hear me.
So we're troubleshooting to make sure we don't have echo sound because we're both in the same space.
Don't hear any echo in the live.
Cool. That sounds good. And we have a perfect Renga party. I'm not sure where Mr. Fun is, but maybe he'll come in a little bit later. And this is perfect because I wanted to like do some kind of like party like event. So really the kind of intent for us is to just like have a good time. We're going to take turns writing some poetry. But you know, that we can also like joke and shit talk and kind of like, you know, just give each other some time while we wait turns. So I'm going to give like a 3-minute kind of like history of what we're doing. And then we're just going to get started because it seems like people are already hungry to write some haiku, and that's all right. So what we're writing today is called. Sure, of course I could stall for 30 seconds. So let me. I've heard from Yogi, and I definitely can see that my partner Siren exists in the room next to me. Amanda, are you still with us? Can you hear us?
I'm still with you.
Cool. Have you ever, Amanda? I know you're like a haiku fanatic. Have you ever written a Renga before?
I have not, but I'm excited to give it a shot.
Cool. So, you know, we come from the slam world, so a lot of our competitions, you know, a lot of our events are competitions. So I'm glad that we're trying out an event that is collaborative. So we're all in this together. And whether we get finished or not, that's okay, because really we're just trying to troubleshoot to see, A, can this event work in a virtual space? And B, is this the type of event that would be fun in person and with maybe a crowd of, you know, of up to 50 people? Really kind of hear your feedback, because our haiku deathmatch grew out of a competition kind of format that became popular in Japan in the late 1600s, early 1700s. But before that, writing collaborative Renga during a fun party while you're drinking and getting fat and having fun used to be what kind of the thing was. So we're going to try that. That's what's up. How's that for your stalling, Shadow? Did that work out? Well, perfect. So Renga in Edo era Japan was really kind of a parlor game that people played, but it appeared in all kinds of places. It appeared in like war treatises and religious texts, and it was more of just kind of a way for people to kind of riff together. And we talked about Matsuo Basho. What Basho did was pluck out the opening verse of Oringa. So you guys can see my opening verse. Haiku and echo space, a rippling water sound across the shadows. So this is called a haku, which means opening verse. As you can see, it's a traditional syllable haiku of 575. What Basho did was like pluck this out and create the haiku, and he turned it from a game into a high art. Like that's kind of the history. And under Basho's school, people started haiku battling. He configured something called the seashell game, where a student would put their haiku under a seashell, and then he as the judge would judge which one was the best. And after Basho's time, haiku became like a fun thing to battle with. But before Basho's time, Basho was considered the last great Renga writer. It was in this fun collaborative environment where we wrote Renga together. And part of the fun is that all of us are obviously rambunctious poets, and we're playing in this echo space. And there are some very courtly rules to the Renga. So I have the rules all written down here. I had some help from Hiroki Sato and Edward Hirsch to find the rules of Oringa. And I'm going to kind of play Dungeon Master and help people along, but basically we're going to take turns. So we know about haiku, but Oringa is a linked verse between two types of stanzas. So you've got the traditional 575, which this is called a haku, like I said. And then this is followed by an accompanying verse, which we call wakiku. So I have the opening haku. So the rules are that the guest haiku master is supposed to start off And there's definitely some, I know Amanda is also a haiku fanatic, but since I know the rules of the Renga, I'm going to play the rule of the like elder master poet. So I'm supposed to write a haiku that first is a salutation. So haiku and echo space, I'm kind of saluting what we're doing. And I'm also supposed to compliment the host. So haiku and echo space, a rippling water sound across the shadows. So I have a little illusion there because, of course, our host is named Shadow. Ha ha ha. But Shadow also works as a Kigo word. If we're gonna have some happiness with the Kigo. All right, so Shadow, here's what your next step is. You need to write what's called a wakiku, which is an accompanying verse. So the haiku is 575. The accompanying verse is 2 lines of 7 syllables. 2 lines of 7 syllables. And the rule is that you should like accept the compliment in some way, but you have to be self-deprecating somehow. The rule.
I have to be self-deprecating.
You have to be self-deprecating, and that is, that's not my fault. That is Japan cultural norms that everyone's got to be humble.
Okay.
So often,
so 2 lines of 7 syllables. I have to be self-deprecating. Do I have to use any of the lines from the previous?
So that's a great question. So yes, you can create a link, but think of in the terms of haiku, like it's not necessarily supposed to be direct. So one way to be self-deprecating in Basho's time was he kind of like talked about the humbleness of his home, like, but was like, welcome to my humble home, kind of like this kind of thing. Or was kind of like, basically like made an indirect joke about, one was like, there was like an old frog pond, and his kind of joke was, well, this is the most I have to entertain you is this old frog pond. So if you want to take, this is called reinforcing the link, you can reference either the themes of the previous link or the season of the previous link. So I'm kind of, if I'm doing Shadow, it's kind of an autumny or like wintry, or, and that's fine, but you can't do it 3 in a row. So, and again, this is like indirect. So if the poet is like, writes a haiku about a warrior, for example, the next person might write about a graveyard. So we can take through that comparison that the warrior ended in a graveyard. But the third link start a new story or should take on a different thing. So you could be linear for 2 haiku, but not 3. Does that make sense?
Yes. I think.
Yeah. So, and again, like, you don't have to make any link at all. And of course, we're all bastard Americans. We can break all these rules we want. So, yeah,
Question: am I in the conference room?
Yes.
Yeah.
Or wait.
Yes.
I finally made it.
You're in the right space.
I finally made it. Woohoo! Yay! All right.
We wondered where you were.
I could get in everywhere except for the conference room.
What is wrong with your setup?
It's like this. I clicked on each one. I went down the list. I could go into the small boardroom, the large boardroom. I could go to the event farm offices. I could go everywhere. Only place I couldn't click was every time I clicked the conference hall, it was like, yeah, what you want?
Well, welcome back.
Thank you. That's why I started typing those crazy haiku. I'm the outcasted. Can't get in the conference hall. Dressed so fresh and clean.
So I see other people have written haiku already on the board. So when it's your turn, you can use a pre-generated haiku or a haiku on the spot, and it depends on where your space is. We got more rules. We'll see. We got some. But
Okay.
let's give Shadow some time to create his Waikiku. But it's another tradition that we toast the host of the Renga party. So I just want to say just a quick toast to Shadow. Thank you for this week. Thank you for hosting our great workshop. Thank you for inviting us to this space. And thank you for being the spirit of Southern Fried. The shot of sake goes to you. Cheers.
Thank you very much. I really appreciate that, and I appreciate everybody for coming out and taking a chance. And you did a wonderful job in your workshop.
Yeah, you did.
All right, so writing 2 lines, 7 syllables, self-deprecating, and reinforce something from the previous.
If you want to, you don't ever have to make a link if you don't want to.
Okay.
And just a heads up, Shadow, you are echoing now. I don't know if it's because you're zooming with the stream on, but there's a little bit of echo.
Okay. How about now?
Still an echo.
Could be that I'm coming through somebody else's mic. Yep, Mr. Fun.
There we go. Great. Aha. All right, we're giving you 2 minutes, Shadow. You better get to this. Waikiku. All right, so we can kind of decide who's on deck. So who wants to write the third haiku?
I'll try it.
Sure, and you can, so we'll have you third. Amanda, do you mind going fourth?
Sure.
All right, and Siren, you'll go fifth, okay?
Are there any rules that I gotta follow? Because I kind of came in late.
These rules are really archaic. Kind of to repeat, a Renga is 2 different types of linked verse. So one is a Haiku, which is 7/5 that we know. And then there's a accompanying verse, which is a Waikiku, which is a couplet of 7 syllables each. So I, as the invited poet guest, just created the first Haiku, and then Shadow, the host, has to be the second one, which is a Waikiku. So all of the odd verses are going to be haiku, like the 5/7/5, and all of the even verses are going to be the Waikiku, which is 2 lines of 7 syllables each. And the other thing, there are a couple of different links that need to either reference the moon or flowers, and that's the 5th, 14th, 17th, 29th, and 35th poem in the link. So some other conventions. So as we said, you can have a narrative link or a seasonal link between 2 of the links, but not 3. And another popular thing is to have a counting pun, since we're linking, or a link pun, since we're linking things together. You should follow the seasons of the person, or you can season switch, which is an interesting thing. And then making allusions is also popular. So I made an allusion to Shadow in the echo space in my Haiku. And Mr. Fun, do you have access to because we've got the website up. If you look in the chat, there should be a link to the Google Doc, but you've already typed shit in there, so I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yep, I'm here.
Shadow, are you Eminem on the stage right now? On spaghetti?
Wait, say that again. What did you say?
I said, are you Eminem on? Are you Eminemming on the stage, Mom Spaghetti?
Yes. All right. Hold on. I think I'm ready.
Cool.
Okay. Can you see me typing?
Yeah, we can see it. Boom.
Okay. So count it. That should be 14 syllables.
Yeah, that's great. So some things you did great. So you got the self-deprecating joke there. So that is in that's like what the host is supposed to do. So great job. Of course, that's the most like Japanese thing you could possibly do, right? And then you also you continued the season. So you continued you referenced the beach and the echo space. But also that beach gives connotations of the season too, so that's great. So basically the next person is going to write a 575, and I think Mr. Fun is there. You can write about anything except since we've already talked about the echo and beaches, you should have a different direction for whatever you are. And it could be something completely random, and you could include the haiku that you've already written if you want to include that one. But the only thing you need to do is 575, and it can't continue the narrative over 3 links.
Okay, I'm gonna think on it.
Or you could also include your haiku that you wrote about being lost. That breaks the rule a little bit about the echo, but you know, we're just fucking around. And you are also free to include a haiku that you already have pre-written too. That's also an option to kind of flesh out the story of this Renga. So, Amanda,
where's the fun in that? If I pick something I've already written, come on now.
Good call. So, Amanda, I believe I said that you're fourth. So you're going to have a Wakiku, which is the 14 syllable, and then, babe, here's your heads up. Your haiku has to mention the moon. Your haiku has to mention the moon. Okay. Yeah, we hear you great. Yeah. Yeah. Yogi, are you going to write with us? Or are you going to be haiku or link number 6? My puppies are back inside and now they're very, very excited. Shadow, how was your day today?
Yeah, I had meetings for the majority of the day. I spent some time just kind of, reflecting about the week and all the stuff that we were able to accomplish. And just kind of started thinking about the tournament a little bit more. But it was a good day. The sun was out. I got in the garden a little bit.
Oh yeah, how's the garden looking?
Oh, it's beautiful. If it was daytime, I probably would share it. But this is the perfect time. Springtime, everything's blooming. It looks nice out there.
So Amanda, how did you find out about us? I know that you got the haiku blog. Did you come around for the haiku, or did you know about Southern Fried before that?
I had heard about Southern Fried through, oh gosh, who did I hear about it from? It was an open mic. Oh my God, I'm totally blanking right now. And they suggested, because I pretty much only write haikus instead of other poetry. They told me about you guys, and then I went to your website and signed up and found out about all this stuff.
I think that's great. So
yeah, I didn't realize there was such a community out there.
Well, kind of to give you some kind of history is, for the most part, we've only operated as a festival 1 week out of the year. And for the longest time, we've wanted to kind of have some more content throughout the year and non-slam oriented content. And then the pandemic happened, and that was an opportunity for us to say, all right, let's do it. So we are very appreciative that some of our new content drove you to become one of our family. It makes me happy.
Yeah, this is awesome.
So you said you've been writing haiku for a while, right?
Oh yeah, I guess like formally over 8 years now.
Pretty cool. Do you publish or are part of it? I feel like the haiku, like the haiku circle is such a small circle that I don't even feel like I'm a part of that circle, really, honestly.
Yeah, I literally started a blog about 8 years ago because I'm a therapist, and I was doing an intern, or I graduated from grad school and had done a bunch of research writing and had gotten away from creative writing. So I decided to challenge myself to write a haiku a day for a year, and then that turned in 2 years, and I put it on a blog, and then I've maintained the blog, but I don't write one every day necessarily. But I haven't really connected with any other haikuists or published much. I would like to. It's been a busy 8 years.
Agree with that. Well, thanks for being a new friend.
Yeah, thanks for being so welcoming.
Okay, I decided I'm gonna just do something that's kind of out of nowhere.
Great.
Yeah, thank you, Amanda. Thank you. That was great.
So there's mine. Don't blame the apple. My Mac's as old as Goldie. Bring on the moon pie beer.
I love that. Well, I'll also say, I think it's much more of a worry of English speakers and Western writers that the haiku matches what came before. That's very common in Japanese writing for actually the next haiku to be completely out of left field. It's way, way more common, honestly, than it being a closer link.
Dang it.
So Amanda, you're up next. So you have the Waikiku. So any type of 2-syllable line, you can either start your own link, or you can link to Mr. Fun's haku about laptop, or some kind of that. Or if you have Goldie or something, you could riff on that pun. That's often a way to have a link as well. You can kind of have a pun or the same theme. or just kind of flip it and start your own message.
So guys,
Okay,
I'm noticing that you can actually type on the screen itself. You don't have to have a separate browser window open.
That's pretty cool.
Okay, did anybody get my reference though in the second line? I know I'm old as dirt.
Wait, say that again.
Did anyone get my reference in the second line?
I'm guessing like Big Mac, Golden Arches. That's the best I can do.
Oh, Mac and Goldie, I like what you did there. I see you. The Mac and Goldie are two characters from Blaxploitation era.
And then my Apple computer is a Mac, so you know.
That was very clever.
Cool beans.
And got the optional moon reference in there. You know, it's not even the fifth verse yet, so it's pretty tricky.
I was definitely gonna bring in the moon in there somewhere, even though I know it wasn't the fifth verse, but I wanted to be a part of that.
You know, poets always break the rules. So traditionally, this would link up to 100. That's like how it first was, and then it dropped down to different ones. So there's also a version where it's 50 links, but then the most popular became what's called the Kassan, which is a 36 link. So that'll be our goal. I'm doubtful we'll get all the way to 36 links, but let's see how far we can get in the next like 45 minutes or so. And then to a kind of history. So I said that, you know, there are two different Kigo that are mandatory. So one is the moon, and one is like flowers, or what's called Hana. So like a blossoming flower. So the reason that they have specific placements is because the Renga used to be put onto like wood carvings, like etchings, and they'd be accompanied by pictures. So one had to have an accompanying moon, and one had to have an accompanying flower, and it's on the folds of where they would typically be, of why it's at that particular place, which I think is interesting. The pit bull's going crazy. She's getting that bone right now. You're not confiscating the bone. I see there's a new user in the world, Shadow. Are you able to see who that is?
Yeah, give me 1 second. Let me check.
Yeah, we might have a lost friend, but invite them to where we are.
It's IQ, and he's in the speakeasy.
Nice. I bet he'll want to play.
Yeah. Let's see if Yogi can go grab him. Hey, Yogi. Yeah.
How's it coming, Amanda?
I'm almost there. I got a little distracted listening to your guys' conversation.
There's so much pressure, right?
And I'm not very good, like, on my feet. Usually it takes me a lot longer to come up with a decent haiku, so.
I didn't know they had to be decent haiku.
Yeah. You know, definitely if you wanna drop one of your classics in there, you know, that's not cheating either. So that's another interesting tidbit. So sorry, my puppy's being crazy. So it used to be the time because these were written like before, like we had like watches and stuff like that. So it used to be they would light an incense stick, and the Renga writing session would last for the length of the incense stick. So that's like another kind of interesting measurement and rule. I think we're taking it longer, but that's okay. Awesome. IQ, coming on over here.
Hey, IQ. Can you hear us? If you can hear us, just join us up here on the stage in the blue area.
All right, looks like Amanda's almost there. So I kind of want people to think about how we might translate this activity to an in-person activity. I'm almost thinking of like, how would this work in a karaoke setting? If we have like, a bar full of 50 people and maybe like a screen up and maybe like people signing up to take turns. Maybe like we need to have like a timer or something, kind of thinking about those kind of things. So love to hear your feedback about how we could make this work in a more timed setting.
I like the idea of karaoke.
You said you like the idea of karaoke?
Of kind of like a karaoke type of thing, like a gathering to get people together, like even just in random bars, not just at poetry events. I think people would really get into it.
Yeah, I almost think of like if we could like maybe have a queue that people like can just like sign up for, and that can also like help people kind of be on deck. Like obviously it's important to see like the haiku that are written and how you play off of it, but there's also kind of an opportunity for you to be like, all right, I'm coming up in 2 slots. What do I want to contribute? That kind of thing. All right, Amanda, is that your, are you finished or is there more?
Oh yes, I'm finished. It was just 2 lines of 7 syllables, right?
Yeah, so will you read it for us?
Oh, sure. In a film noir, sprayed paint sleeps with stolen apple trees.
Cool. So that's a great link. So didn't necessarily link the content, but played off the word apple. That's a great way. And you also turned apple into a Kigo word. So good job. You did that well.
Thanks.
All right, so Siren, you are up next. You have a haiku about the moon. You must mention the moon. And then is Yogi? Are you with us? Are you playing with us, Yogi? Or are you just sitting out?
I couldn't hear her when I went by there.
I'm sitting out.
Oh, okay.
Yogi, we know you got poems. Don't be playing with us like that.
I know. I love y'all, but I'm sitting out for right now.
That's okay. Well,
supporting.
if you want to jump in, let us know. Okay.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
IQ, are you with us yet? Can you hear us?
I'm chatting with him. He's having microphone issues.
Okay. Well, then I will be. I will go after Siren then. And then we can either mix up the order or we can go with Shadow next. But yeah. Mr. Fun, how was your day today?
My day is going pretty Good. I finished my taxes and sent them off, so I'm happy about that. I have a new painting that I've been working on that I'm really excited about finishing. I did another TikTok video with my puppets. So it's been a pretty full day.
That's pretty cool. I didn't know you were into puppets.
Actually, yeah, I have a puppet that looks like me. I had that one made, and then I have like 3 others, and I'm probably gonna end up getting like a 4th one. Probably gonna end up getting 2 more, maybe. Finally got a place for those voices in my head now.
That's cool.
Can I just read through?
Yeah, so Siren's gonna read through mine.
Poets Connect.
Siren's been doing what?
RC current.
I can't really.
Oh no.
Can you guys hear?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah.
So I said Poets Connect. Words flow, dark RC currents, full bites of whole moon.
Ooh. Good work. So you got that's a moon pie pun, right? You know the first. Come on, man. The first Southern Fried Renga's got a moon pie reference for the moon. Yeah, I love that. Good work. All right, so 6 is on me. And let me see if I'm able to. I need to maybe access it like this.
You double click on the screen, on the middle screen.
Oh, okay. But then my thing moves. I move my I can move my
Do the zoom.
screen zoom.
So pop up.
Ah, there we go. All right, so it's I've got it even, so I'm gonna have a Haiku. All right, there we go. Shining stars, summer night. Cloud forms, sake glass. I'm not a cheater. All right, Shadow, are you up to write another one?
I am. I'm helping IQ with his mic.
Why don't we skip you for a second? We'll come back to you then.
Okay, thank you.
All right, Mr. Fun, are you? Would you be willing to write number 7? Number 7.
Sure, I'll write number 7. And am I starting something new with number 7?
So you can either you can't tie together. So I took moon and then went to stars. So you can't continue down that narrative. But you could continue down another one to like talk about sake or glasses, or you could do your own thing.
So I can or cannot use cloud, like a reference there.
Cloud works. Cloud is the new narrative.
So
okay,
you guys are echoing over each other because your sound is coming out of each other's mics. So one person, I guess, talk at a time, or unmute at a time.
Gotcha. So yes, you can continue on clouds because that's the new narrative link. You know, it doesn't follow the moon and night. Cloud's a different one. So, and because yours is odd, yours is a Haiku, which is the 575. And then Amanda, will you go 7th? Actually, no, I want to switch it up because you had a Wakiku last time. So Siren, will you do number 7, a Wakiku? And then Amanda, will you do number 8?
Sure.
So no rules. The next rule is on the 14th poem, so we got some time. I think the rule for myself is to have another glass of sake, since this isn't a traditional court rules, but since I mentioned sake, I think I have to drink a glass of sake. I think it's important. Wow, I'm back.
Guess who's back?
Guess who's back? All right, so you finished link number 7. All right, will you read it first, babe?
Clouds.
Ooh, there you go. Getting fancy with it. So, you know, that's kind of like a thing to play with, is like, it's fun to kind of continue the link, but even like break, right? It's like, it's both a break in theme and then like, you know, like the pun of break. So that was good. Good job. That's definitely the Japanese masters would be like, one hand clapping. So if I'm correct, Amanda, you're up. Or wait, did we skip Mr. Fun?
Yeah.
You did write in Mr. Fun's time. I was so confused about that.
It's okay. I'll write the Wakiku, right?
Perfect. So yeah, that's it's a couplet of 7 syllables each.
So I should still go now?
No, you'll go after Mr. Fun.
Okay,
But
perfect.
this isn't the first time my partner's gone rogue. You're that kind of feminist. I love it. Yeah, Mr. Fun is kind of levitating. You're kind of like in the air. You see this? Shadow, how is IQ doing?
We're trying to get him to put on headphones. I don't think he was using headphones.
Okay.
So we'll see if that works for him.
Gotcha. And the only thing this is missing is some Yogi-Ku right here. I could use some Yogi-Ku. So I can see the screen if my video's on, but I can't really interact with it. That's an interesting thing.
So say that again. You can see the screen, but you can't interact with it.
So yeah, when my video's on, I can't really do the functions. Now I'm struggling with it too. Mouse clicks restricted to use. Oh, it's because someone else is using it. That's why.
Somebody else is using the screen.
Yeah, so it looks like, you know, we're all able to type on a Google Doc at the same time, but it seems like only one of us can use the screen at the same time. To type on.
I see.
So if it seems like Mr. Fun's typing on this now, since Mr. Fun's got control of it.
Okay, that's good to know.
Yeah. So that might, I don't know if that, we'll check to see if I can manipulate the middle screen while my video's on in just a second. I see Mr. Fun, your hand's up.
Let's pretend we are thunder and rattle around in here.
Yes. Really, really good. So then you also included a Kigo of lightning. So good work there. All right, Amanda, you are up.
Okay.
Shadow, is that your shadow self?
Yes, it is.
Shadow, how you gonna have a shadow? Come on, man.
Everybody has one.
I like how your your shadow self doesn't look like you at all.
That's the whole point. I couldn't have them look exactly the same.
That would be pretty dope if they were just like identical.
Twin.
Shadow, I would love if you took a break from tech checking and did the next link.
Okay. Give me
All
a
right,
second.
so let's see here. Let me. What link are we on now? Amanda's writing link number 9. So Shadow, you're going to be link number 10.
Okay.
So if it's
And
10,
is that a haiku or?
That's the wakiku again. So you're going to just write another couplet of 7 syllables each.
Okay.
So far, like week 7 talks about clouds and the sunbeam. Then 8 cuts through that with thunder and a rattle. So I'm interested to see where Amanda takes it, because we've been kind of riffing on, the environment in the sky. I'm wondering if Amanda's going to continue with that or kind of change it up. Shadow, we're hearing a lot of static from your main account. No, you're good now. Oh, now I hear it again. Now you're good. There's like a rustling.
Who's wrestling?
Wrestling is what we used to call it in Tennessee,
Wrestling.
right? And this is what I was telling Cuban the other day. So here's an interesting haiku fact. So since this Renga writing kind of practice was the precursor to haiku, many of the first notable named haiku poets who are women were sex workers, because generals or even priests would have these parties, and then they would have geishas or comfort women there, and they would insist that they participate in the writing of the haiku. So that's also an interesting little bit of tidbit. I think that says both about I think it says, I think there's a patriarchal kind of slant there, and there's also kind of a, kind of like feminist no shame of a sex worker can be a poet type of thing there too. So I think that's interesting.
Oops, sorry. I think I almost shared on the wrong screen, but should be back in a second here.
Yeah, if I click on the middle screen, I can see the in my little box I can see, but I can no longer see it just looking at the screen. Oh, there it goes. There it goes.
Is it back?
Yeah, I can see it now.
Okay.
Amanda, how are you doing over there? Oh, Mr. Fun, I'm sorry. You're right.
I almost have it.
And then did IQ disappear? It looks like he logged out.
Yeah, he said he was gonna log out and log back in.
Okay. Chad, are you having a drink over there? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm having a Heineken, actually.
Ooh.
I didn't have any sake, so no sake. If I'm saying that right. But yeah,
you can always blame the twang.
We from the South, man. Maine.
Maine. Cheers.
Maine. Cheers to you, my brother.
I'm glad we're getting a character in here. Yeah, I mean, so far we haven't had many subjects or like people in this Renga, and now we have. Well, I'll let Amanda introduce this link.
Okay, so now we have a character. She believes music, dancing with wild delusions, the break of dawn blinds.
So Shadow, that's on you. So if you were to continue the story of the narrative, again, it's really common for like a Westerner to be like, she got done with dancing, like, right? Like just kind of directly continue the story. But another way to do it would be like to write about an old woman, and maybe that, or to maybe write about maybe there's a jealous lover on the other end, like waiting for her to come home or something, right? It's presenting a story that only really makes sense if you juxtapose it with that, or you can just generally make it about music or dancing. That's kind of a way to play with the links in a way that's not like just very, very linear.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. Well, let me see what I can come up with.
And that's also kind of a fun, that's like a kind of way that you can kind of like slam on each other too for fun, right? Like, if Amanda writes about like dancing or something, and if you wrote about scuff shoes or something like that, that'd be a way to be like, haha, I'm hating on your image.
Gotcha. Okay. That makes sense.
Yeah. And that was kind of the, obviously people would like cross-talk during this, like you'd have a like table in the middle of a room full of people just like eating food. People would go kind of take their time writing it, and then announce it. People would clap, and like what you do like kind of shiftily with the link was often kind of like the yeah. Like if you wrote about ducks in the previous link, and then you wrote about a hunter in the next link, right? Like that's just a way to kind of, you know, you might not get that context unless you put those two pieces together. I think that's kind of the fun of it. Let's see, that's number 9. So Shadow's doing number 10. Yeah, I'll do number 11. Love if Yogi did 12, but Yogi's over there. Okay though. I would love to try to at least get to 17 because that's our first introduction of flowers. You know, I don't know if we'll get to 36 tonight, but that's okay. So I've also been riffing with the people I haven't seen. I'm gonna turn to my partner and be like, "Hey, Ed, how was your day?" Yeah. Yeah.
That was right.
That is true. You did get sake. Poetry events are just more fun with sake, right?
Or whatever.
But I don't have the recipe either, so I don't really know what's in Poetry Punch. So Amanda at Southern Fried, there's this thing called Poetry Punch. So like what it kind of grew after is we would have like these slams in different cities around the country. And then at the end of the slam, people would have a trunk party and people started making their own kind of home brews. So if you're lucky, you get some Poetry Punch. And then people started kind of having their own versions. So there's like unofficial, official Poetry Punch. And then there's the like remixes, you know. So I don't know what the I don't know what the Shadow, do you know what the concoction for Poetry Punch is?
Yes, but I'm not telling anybody. It's a secret. Because I'm gonna tell you, I'm an
incorporated board member, former vice president, current director of programming, and
I got it from a very good colleague of ours who we thought was gonna be leaving, and we would not see them again because they got a fellowship somewhere. I won't name because then I'll be putting that person.
I already know who you're talking about.
You don't. You don't know who I'm talking about. You can't though. Nah, I'm sure you know. So yeah, one day they took me. We were at a Southern Fried, and we went to the liquor store just like we normally do for finals. Remember, that's one of our traditions. We always go get the champagne for after finals. And they actually went with me and told me all the different ingredients that were in the Poetry Punch, and I wrote them down. And I have the sheet of paper, but I never transferred it from that sheet of paper. So if I ever lose that, we're done. But yeah, I know.
Are you telling me this story instead of writing your walking to?
Yeah. All right, let me finish. You distracted me.
Yeah, well, you're the one breaking my heart and telling me that you know about the poetry. I was just like, oh, and that's the worst part. Is like, I'm always like in the back tab room or like, you know, like in the car trying to like, you know, do this or that, and I'm just like, hope somebody saves me some poetry. Hope I can have some.
Yeah, I always get an extra one for you, Henzbo. Even though you don't always get that extra one, but I always get one for you.
There was maybe like 4 or 5 years ago that I did miss out. I didn't get Poetry Punch for the whole tournament, and I was a little salty. But I would say since that time, I've always people have always looked out for me. So it's been solid.
Okay, let's see what happens here. And make sure I have my syllables right though.
So yeah, one thing this like reminds me of is we did this thing at our slam called a drive-by poem, where we would take like one line and then like fold it over and then pass it, and someone would write the next line. And then the joke of it was like our host Corey would have to read it, and people would often think like Corey is a butt sniffer or something. But the like kind of like past anonymity was like the fun part of it. So I'm curious how we can like think about this in like a in-person setting with like multiple participants. How we can kind of like get away from people like come up and be like and Shadow, did you see my typewriter that we got the other day?
The one you posted on Facebook, on your Facebook?
Yeah.
Yes. I can't believe you bought that for $10, $20.
So what I want to do at the next festival, and this is cheesy, but Siren even talked about like at our wedding someday we want to do this. But I would love to like leave the typewriters out in like obviously like in a monitored space, where people can kind of come and just like type something on it, like type a message, and then like and then be about their business, right? I think that could be kind of something kind of cool. And maybe that's a way for this like event, right? Maybe like it's a more guerrilla event where maybe like somebody sits with the typewriter, asks someone to come up, and they're like, oh, you have to write poem number 8. Okay, see ya. All right, you have to write poem number 9. Come here. Like that could be kind of like a different way to do this if it's more like trying to catch some people just like as a passerby. I just think there's some potential for this activity at the festival, and I don't know if I've fully realized it yet. But I'm talking to you again when I'm supposed to be leaving you alone. Is that
it's all good. I tried my best.
Read it for a Shadow.
Making bass on her eardrums. Life, a journey best traveled.
Word. So, all right. So I'm next. So my rule is we've got the theme. So we've got a character of a woman.
Hey,
I can't continue that narrative. And then it seems like we have dancing and bass. That is something I probably can't continue. But maybe like journey or traveling is something that I can pick up, or I can kind of flip it. And if it's 11, so mine's a haiku. That's pretty cool. I see. It looks like IQ. It looks like IQ is back. Shadow, I don't know if you want to check in with him. And then Mr. Fun, will you be willing to take? Oh, you've had a couple Wakiku, haven't you? Shadow, that's another interesting thing is we can hear you from this stage. If I don't know if you're supposed to. Oh, it's because you got your. Is it because you got your Akin character? Aha. Thing. All right, so I'm gonna try something with my camera just to like troubleshoot something. I'm gonna see if I can actually have my camera connected and then connect with this at the same time. Yeah, but I can't type on it though. Mouse clicks restricted to users on stage. So let's get out of here. Let me disconnect here. See if I can connect here. Still not able to type though, so let me go here. It says mouse clicks restricted to users on stage. Yeah, but then I can't see the It's weird though. So Shadow, I can like it's finicky when I can access this document. It seems like other people are easier able to do it. So I can highlight. Okay, there we go. Okay, that works now. So 11. All right. So let me back up.
Hello,
Cool.
Henzbo.
All right, so I took Shadows, making based on her eardrums, life's a journey best traveled. So that evoked to me what Basho, who I said kind of was the last great Renga writer. Basho said the journey itself is home. So that made me think of Basho. So one of his famous haiku journals was Weather Beaten Bones, and he took journeys. So Weather Beaten Bones, these long and winding roads almost feel like home. And I only use these 6 syllables in the second sentence. Ha. Ha ha. IQ, are you with us now?
At
Yes.
last.
At last.
Yo, you know what the problem was?
What was it?
My nickname is only 2 letters. And right now the program doesn't support 2 letters as a person. It disables the audio.
That's so
Oh,
weird.
wow.
So I had to go, it was actually my partner that noticed it when I tried to log in, and I had to go into the main program, change it to Poet IQ, so I had more than 2 letters, and then re-enter. So at last.
I'm clapping for you. I'm clapping for you.
Thanks, man. Oh God.
So do you want to take a second to catch up, or do you want to jump in and write a link?
So am I trying to write the 7 or just or write the a haiku, add a haiku in?
So if you're number 12, you would write the wakiku, which is 2 lines of 7 syllables each.
Right. Yeah, let me see what's there right now.
All right. Siren, will you jump in? Will you be number 12? All right, number 12. So it's an even, so you're writing a wakiku. So if you're following along IQ, our last couple of narratives have been in link 9, we had a dancing woman. And then link number 10, we talk about the bass in her eardrums and a journey. In link number 11, we dropped the story of the woman and talked more about the concept of a journey. And I wrote Weather Beaten Bones, these long and winding roads almost feel like home. So Siren's going to take link number 12, which if it's even, it's going to be a wakiku. I'd love someone to do number 13, and then interesting enough, poem 14 is an optional mention of the moon. If someone wants to jump in poem 14 and wants to craft a wakiku that maybe or maybe not mentions the moon.
So
Shadow just reminded me of the time. We started at 8. It's 9:36 here. My goal was to get to link number 17. But at this point, we're just kind of hanging out. So, you know, I just want to make sure no one's feeling obligated to stay. I'd love if everyone could stay to link number 17. But of course, we are over 96 minutes into this. And I know it's a weekend night too.
So, that's siren typing, right?
Yeah. So that's another thing we're doing, IQ. We're kind of just testing, like, both if this event can work in this digital atmosphere with the collaborative writing.
Right.
It seems like for us, once Siren relinquishes control of that screen, you should be able to click on that screen. But that's what we're troubleshooting. And then we're also considering what would this event look like in a real world space if we had a bar full of 50 people and maybe like a monitor and a DJ, if we would be able to do something like this. Which I think that'd be like a fun alternative to like a haiku battle.
Oh yeah. Well, you know, I guess you know me as well. I'm kind of loath to constantly like offload the ideas I've been thinking about for a while. But do you guys have any good sakes you like?
What's the one we're drinking right now? We are drinking. Here, I'll even go back to. Oh no, that was the wrong one. I don't want you to look at the Hall of Mirrors. Look at my face. My face. So we are drinking. This is a Nagori. A cloudy sake. I mean, this is like pretty basic. It's not anything fancy, but $10. I always used to drink hot sake, but like recently I've gotten into. I love cold sake. I love it.
Cold cloudy sake is beautiful. So if you guys are up for it, I like to plan ahead for say October.
Go on.
And we can have, because I would love to have, like, this time is really good for me. It's almost noon. It's half an hour before noon on Saturday. So it'll be awesome to be able to pull a couple people together here and where we have afternoon sake, but we also have just a quite friendly tag team head-to-head.
Yeah, one thing we were talking about, definitely also like talking with Amanda as a new member is just some ways we can build a more collaborative haiku community. So I'm all supportive of that.
Cool. So direction post stretch taller, sunlight lengthens hours apart. So you need a 12 from me, right?
Sorry, was that your siren? Yeah, will you read and share that one for us?
Direction posts stretch taller. Sunlight lengthens hours apart.
Right. So so the rules you have, IQ, is so you've got a Haku, which is a 575, and it can continue along the theme, pun, or like season of the previous haiku or the previous link, but not 3 in a row. So you've got roads, and then it seems like we've moved from roads to like tallness and sunlight. So as long as you aren't continuing 3 on, you can write about whatever you want. And then so nothing about the journey or roads. It has to be kind of a new narrative link. And then whoever writes number 14 can write about the moon if they want to. It's an optional moon rule. But
Okay. So where do I just type in the public?
so let's troubleshoot this. Click on the main screen in the middle. And
Okay.
it might help if you click on the magnifying glass icon at the top to blow it up.
Grain zoom? Or is that on the actual screen? Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Do the middle magnifying glass,
Yeah.
and then you should be able to double click anywhere in the screen and start typing.
Okay. So I should start typing after and nothing comes back.
Yeah, but we'll see if it works. We're kind of troubleshooting. If it does work.
All right.
And y'all, many of the events in Southern Fried we've been doing for like 20 years. This is both a brand new event and a brand new digital technology. So like, I realized that we've been together for a phase 1 Marvel movie, like not quite like Endgame or like Infinity War, but definitely like you have been with us along for like Thor: Dark World 2, which is long. Which is to say, thank you so much. And I know that yesterday was also people having patience. I'm feeling better about today, but also this, we're definitely figuring out how this like event could work or how it could work with this technology. So I appreciate everyone having some fun. IQ, how are you doing? Is it working for you?
So you need what, 12 symbols or 17? I mean 14.
If it's 13, it is a regular haiku, 17 syllables. And then Amanda, I feel like you're kind of the haiku pro here. If there's anybody else, would you mind writing the next moon poem?
Sure.
So you need one that's continues the journey.
So no, you can't talk about journey or roads.
Okay.
But
well,
you can reference the last haiku, which is 12. So you can talk about direction, post, stretch, taller. So you can talk about sunlight or hours, or you can talk about your completely own thing. And you are more than welcome to drop in a previously written haiku if you want to bring up a new subject. So you don't necessarily even need to write a haiku on the spot. Because you have the haiku slot, you can drop in something you've already written, or if you want to make a stronger link, it's up to you.
I'll do one that I actually wrote last night.
Great.
And
you're able to type and enter it in there?
Yeah.
Great. You can put your tongue glass in. Right, Shadow, I just saw your message. I hear you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
All right. Did you put it in there?
Yeah, it should be there. So do I have to press return or?
I mean, I don't know. Do other people see it? Because I don't necessarily see it.
Okay, so do I have to zoom out now?
I don't know. Yeah. That was Siren's edition. IQ's is number 13.
Okay.
Mine. That's me typing that. Yeah. IQ, do you want to read what you wrote for 13? And if we can't see it, maybe we can plug it in.
Yeah. Child cries at party. Old robin pecks dawn window. Chirps, new feathers sting.
All right, let me just a sec. I had it. For me, it's kind of finicky too, Shadow. Like sometimes it'll let me kind of just hop on, and sometimes it won't. Yeah, and that might be more a reflection of Google Docs than, of the echo space. So, IQ, will you say that again? Child
cries at party. Old with capital O. Robin pecks. Dawn window. Chirps. New feathers sting.
Everybody can see that okay? So that's the trick. So IQ, you were typing, right? So you could see it on your end that you typed that in there, but we couldn't see it.
Right.
Okay, so that's some good feedback. I'm not sure if that's a echo issue or a Google Docs issue, but that's good. That's good to know. So Amanda, you are up, number 14, and you have the option of talking about the moon or not. You don't have to.
So do I need to click out of anything?
Yes, if you can, at least take the magnifying glass off the screen if you can.
Oops.
Amanda, are you okay accessing the screen? Does that work okay?
I think so. I can try.
And y'all, Amanda's like the trooper of the week. So I'm glad you are here and writing Renga with us.
Yes, I agree.
I had a great time this week.
Didn't you
So what
set
time
up,
is it where you are, Amanda?
Amanda? Yeah. Did you set up a booth in the expo hall?
I did. I think I did anyway.
Yeah, nice. And is your website Haiku the Hell Out of Life?
It is, yes.
Okay, I think I signed up for it last night.
Oh, cool. Thank you.
And thank you for accepting my friend request.
Oh, of course. I'm still learning how all this technology works, so.
Well,
Don't worry, we all are.
Well, and Amanda, for some, kind of background, we first hosted a festival here in this space in, what was it, in August, Shadow?
August of last year.
And I'd say we probably had like about 50 people like around, our peak times at this event. And we are seeing this far in the pandemic that we just did not have that same attendance here. So that was an interesting feedback. But we are expecting whatever we do in June for our main festival, that we will have more attendance. So we're gonna kind of think about how the best way to like host a festival that's supposed to be in person in a way that's like fun and engaging. So thank you for being here during our week of troubleshooting.
No, this has been awesome. For my next part, it's the two lines, 7 syllables again.
Yeah, it's a wakiku, so
Okay.
2 lines.
What happened, Henzbo? I think we lost your audio.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh, I just turned my camera off because, or
Oh.
sorry, my sound off because I'm drinking over your shadow. You don't need to hear me slurping. Slurping the
Cheers,
sizzner.
cheers.
Slurp the snurp, the snurp.
So where is the
Sponsor our Nick.
So here, this is another interesting thing, Shadow. So Siren got kicked maybe like 5-10 minutes ago.
But she's still standing there?
So yeah, Siren's still standing there, but their laptop is closed, and not connected right now. So that's interesting too.
And you know what? So is my avatar as well. I got kicked out of the Echo, but he was just standing there.
All right, so our goal, so Amanda's finishing 14. Our goal is to get to 17. And then if people want to stay longer, they can. But I would love for, let's see, Amanda's working on 14 now. If we can get Mr. Fun, would you be willing to do 15?
For sure.
All right, I will do 16. And then Shadow, if you'd be willing to do 17.
Okay.
And then if more people want to stick around and write some more, we can do that. But we can kind of consider that the test. You haven't even read that yet, and that shit's so fire. It's so fire. It's so good. It's so good. It's so good. All right.
Did that work? Did it show up?
Yeah, I see it. That's a great Wakiku link. Great.
Oh, thanks.
Will you mind reading it for us?
Oh, yeah. Sorry. In the moonlight, we forget innocent poppy's first growth.
All right. So everybody, while I'm flipping out about this Wakiku is, Amanda met the challenge, has an optional mention of the moon. So we've got moonlight. And then juxtaposing that with innocent poppy's first growth, I mean, that really just tells you about Amanda's state of thought here. I see like innocence, naivety, possibly like childhood nostalgia. That's such a good way to like to talk about the child crying at the party in an indirect way that we might see in a classic Renga, taking that theme of the child and going more internally, turning into a poppy. I don't know if that was your intent. That's what I read into it, Amanda. I don't know if you want to say more about that.
Yeah, it was kind of like double intent. It was like, yeah, playing off the child and then like the nature of the robins. And then also I live in Los Angeles and poppies are a big deal out here. Once they're all fully grown and then people stomp all over them. So it was kind of like an homage to before everybody stomps all over them.
Love that. And I said, Ms. Stefan, you're next, right?
Yep.
Cool. So you're 15, so that's a traditional Haiku, 575. So you can't talk about children or robins or windows, but you can continue the theme of moonlight or poppies or growth. Yeah, we can hear you. It's good. Yeah, we are now almost 2 hours into the test, and I'm just like, I'm so grateful for everyone. And I know you feel the same way, Shadow. Thank you so much, guys. I hope this was both fun, because like, even if it wasn't for you, like this was like really beneficial for us to kind of try to see both troubleshooting this event and then this virtual space.
Yeah, guys, this is really amazing. Like, I couldn't have asked for a better kind of like group and turnout.
Agreed.
Thanks, guys. I'm sorry I was so late.
No, I
okay,
mean that's now we know the thing about the two characters. If not for you, we wouldn't have known that.
And we'll give some more space if anyone wants to add to this. And there was definitely some writings at the end that were plugged in that people can put into different spaces if they want to make this longer. But if we have a conversation after this, I would love to just like spend the time talking about like, okay, is this an event that we could actually foresee at the festival happening? Do you think that it could be successful? And then also, could it be successful as an in-person event? And I've kind of talked about that a little bit throughout tonight. I'd kind of like to switch the conversation toward that, but I don't want to hold people longer than 2 hours because some people have been very nice and agreed to check in. But hey, we've got the space. I'm drinking sake. I'll stick around if more people want to plug in.
I actually have to get going, so I haven't had dinner yet, but I really enjoyed this week and meeting you all virtually, and hope to hopefully someday soon meet people in person.
Yeah, one quest, or I guess ask that Shadow had would, before you go, would you mind like connecting your video up on the left, and then just maybe giving us some impressions in 1 or 2 minutes about what your thoughts were, and maybe some things we can do to improve this kind of content.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, not long at all, just really quickly. I just want to get the feedback.
Oh, yeah. Wait, where do I put my video again? Sorry.
Yeah, on the left screen or right? Or,
on the right. Let her do it on the right, and you just hold on to that left screen, Henzbo.
Okay, great. That works.
Okay. Let me.
You remember how to do it from yesterday?
Yeah, I think. Oh yeah, it looks a little different. Or no, it does not. Oh,
hey, there we go.
Let me turn some light on. Hi.
We actually get to see your face.
My hair looks terrible.
Not to us.
Looks trendy. I like it.
Oh, thanks. So you wanted me to give some feedback, and I completely
Yeah,
forgot
like you can introduce yourself. You know, like assume you're talking to the world, and introduce yourself. Say where you are. Say how you made it to the Echo, and just whatever you want to say to anybody out there. You might want to give a shout out to somebody or something like that.
Okay. I'm Amanda Steeman, and I live in Los Angeles. I've been writing haikus for a little over 8 years now as kind of an experiment, and then got a bit addicted to them, which I suppose is a good addiction to have. And I'm just looking now to connect with more people who also enjoy writing haikus and poetry in general, and kind of put myself out there. I got to this world by, I performed one night at the Poetry Lounge, and they turned me on to SoFried and said I should check it out. I'd really like it, and so far I agree. I don't think I have any shout outs.
Well, do you
I don't
have
think
any,
anyone I know is watching me right now.
do you have any feedback either about the workshops or about this kind of pilot party that we're trying out tonight?
And it definitely takes a little bit of getting used to, just because I've never been in a virtual world before. But it's kind of cool how you can kind of walk around, so to speak, then also show your actual face somewhere too, so you can see what people look like in real life. I like that kind of like semi-physical interaction with also the camera. It's a little bit different than just a normal Zoom, but still incorporates that part of it.
Well, we are very excited that you're part of the Southern Fried family now. I hope that you'll stay tuned because we are growing our own haiku network. Our next event is in June, and we'll reschedule the head-to-head competition. So we'll send you an email about that, and then we will also have content in June. So thank you. We appreciate you being here.
Awesome. Thank you guys. Looking forward to spending some more time with y'all.
Cool.
I wrote my lines.
Well, before we hear the line, can everyone go to their name and then type clap, or you can just hit F4 to clap for Amanda. It is like Shadow, why do you dance for like a whole 3 minutes and then you clap for like 2 seconds?
I know, right? It's kind of ridiculous.
No, I mean, I like the short clap, but you might want to have a longer one as well.
Okay. So add a longer clap.
Yeah.
Amanda, if we had a longer clap, we would clap for you longer. So thank you for being a really great part of the workshop and for participating in the very first Southern Fried Renga writing party.
Thank you for having me. Bye.
Yeah. All right, Mr. Fun, we are waiting for this awesome link that you got.
Okay. Lunchtime quest for peace. Food trucks blossom, but the seagulls give 0 flocks.
Dang, that is nice.
So I can't look at it. So I'm wondering if Stefan needs to hit off of the magnifying glass before letting me interact.
I just typed mine in the Google Docs, and
All right.
That was it.
Oh, I've been talking with my mic off. That's been the issue. So the thing I'm troubleshooting, Shadow, is I need to be a certain distance away to click on the magnifying glass, but I need to be a certain level of closeness for it to even pull up for me to be able to manipulate the screen. So I have to find this like sweet spot of standing that doesn't always work. So like here, I'm too far away for the screen to pull up, but right here, I'm fine, but I'm almost too close to be able to see the magnifying glass, if that makes sense. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what I'm saying. I have to back up to be able to get to the top of the screen zoom, right? So, but if I back up too much, I can no longer access the screen to type. So I've got it now, but that's like an interesting. Ah, yes. Oh. Oh, I can toggle between. Aha. I had never even seen that, so I can toggle between them. So that's easy. So let me write this goddamn Wakiku. That's your turn to make small talk with people, Shadow. See how hard that is.
Small talk. Yeah, join us on the website. Follow us on social media at SoFriedPoetry.com. We have a tournament in June. It will be the first time we've ever done a fully virtual tournament. So looking forward to that. Shout out to our board of directors, our president, everybody who supports us and continues to support us. This would be 29 years of SoFried, and I really just wanted to say thank you to everybody. We know that there's a lot going on in the world with the pandemic, but anybody who took their time out to, like a post, join the world, listen to your workshop, visit the website. We love you guys. So shout out to Sarita, shout out to Lady S, shout out to Paul D, shout out to Eddie, shout out to Cuban, shout out to Sarah, shout out to Zach, shout out to Kirk.
Shout out to you.
Shout out to me. Thank you.
I think the shout out to
shout out to Henzbo.
Yeah, definitely shout out to Henzbo.
Thank you. I want to reiterate the shout out to Yogi because.
Shout out to Yogi.
Yeah, and this was like Yogi's talents were both useful for this event and then our events going forward. So, Yogi literally helped us reshape this space, which
wow,
fantastic job. Check out the expo when you leave here, and just kind of look around. She took some liberties that I was very, very happy with, and she just really did an amazing job. So shout out to Yogi.
I love y'all. Thank you.
Thank you, Yogi.
So Shadow, the last piece is yours. So I did a couple things. So like I said, this is usually supposed to go 36 links. We got to 16. So this gives us an idea of how long this process takes, and if we did this event in public, how we would need to maybe like time or curate that in some kind of way. But on the 36th link, you're supposed to write what's called a giko, which is a closing verse, which references the first haiku. So I cheated and accomplished that. So since we had lunchtime quest for peace, food trucks blossom, but the seagulls get zero flocks. So I had that same experience, Mr. Fun, when I just went to Nova Scotia before the pandemic. I got to eat delicious crab rolls, and the seagulls were like battling us for all of our scraps. But then what I did is I took that concept of the sea, and then I brought up the boat skimming past the beach stage. So I accomplished the act of the closing verse only 20 verses early. So that just leaves our host Shadow to finish the poem off with the 17th poem. So that's a regular haiku, Shadow, but your haiku has to mention flowers or blossoms. So
has to mention flowers or blossoms?
Flowers or blossoms. And again, you know, you could turn moon into moon pies or something like that, right? But like, yes, you have to write a 5-7-5 and then include the word flowers, blossoms, or reference some kind of flowers. So lilies or roses or something like that, right? So while Shadow is finishing that up, and then IQ, I know you're a late addition to the party. If you want to add a couple of things, we'll give you some time. But I definitely looking at Mr. Fun, who was here for a while, and then I'm definitely looking at my partner Siren, who's sitting next to me. What do you think about this event as a potential event? Do you think we can make this work? Obviously, in this present stage, it might be difficult to have something of this pace as an event, but do you see potential here that we could possibly do this, or do you think this would be something better conceptualized, like not as a live event or something else?
Can they?
Sure, that's okay. Response on screen. So, girl, you look so good. Girl, you look good.
Well, I always have issues with trying to get on the screen, but I've also been having issues with trying to type in the little chat window. For some reason, when I type, it's not going through.
So you look great. I mean, we have, okay, this is, you see sake.
I like the rosy cheeks.
Hey, that's almost one right there.
So, I like, do I do the introduction and stuff? Everybody knows who I am anyway.
Yeah.
That's fine. So, I love this as an event. I do think it has the potential to be done really well live, and you might want to look at two different formats for it. One would be like to have all of your appetizers and kind of like if you were to do catering for an event, to have it in the middle of the room.
Yeah.
And then along the outside, have different, like have a person start at one piece of butcher paper and then like shift down and down and down for the next one.
It's like a graffiti wall.
Kind of like a graffiti wall. Yeah. Now that's one way, but another way would also be really cool is to basically have somebody write just different haikus or different oh gosh, the two line. What's the two line?
The wakiku.
Yeah. So have people write random ones, but then like encourage them to use Kigo words on a notepad or whatever, and then have them numbered different ways, and then for them to mix and match and see where their haiku or their kiku
like
would fit.
If you have like a wall of like 1 through 36 and we have 36 guests, they could sign up and they could get a ticket, and they could say, okay, in the next 30 minutes, you have to go to number 14, and then there's a butcher paper with the rules on there. So, okay.
So I think this is a great event. I think it would be a really great mixer, but I also don't think that you have to limit the number of guests to the number of butcher paper. People can jump around between it.
I agree with that too. And we don't necessarily need to you don't have to sit on screen.
Okay.
We don't have to keep it to 36. Like, if we can move it along, I mean, we can do a Renga of 100. So that's some good feedback. I like the kind of graffiti wall. Maybe. I think the hard part would be like making sure we curate, because I think it just like took, if you're new to book, I think and this is why I wish Amanda was here still, because Amanda is someone, for example, who has experience writing haiku and the conventions of it, but still it kind of takes some coaching kind of do the Renga part, at least to like kind of get it culturally. So that's some good feedback. We shared Shadow.
Hey,
Yes.
Henzbo, I guess I'll no doubt reach out to you and ask you about this, but it would be fantastic if you could send me basically, I guess, the general rules of the Renga. I mean, I looked them up, but I also want to talk to you about it because I would love to have some catch-ups with people here to kind of get them started.
Yeah, and I shared these earlier, and it's honestly really difficult. Like, if you look at the rules online, they might tell you about the structure or the names, but they don't necessarily tell you about like the cultural things you're supposed to do. So, like, for example, Shadow and I started it off. So as the guest haikuster, I started it. I'm supposed to have a salutation and also give some respect to the host. Shadow, as the host, is supposed to be the second link, and it's supposed to be self-deprecating. Like, it's supposed to accept the salutation to be self-deprecating. So a lot of the things you read online about the process doesn't take you through like some of the kind of cultural expectations of it. But the two books I used the most were Edward Hirsch's Poet Glossary. And you can read a version of this online with the Academy of American Poets. But dude, this is like the best. This and the Princeton book are my favorite encyclopedias. I think that this is the best poetry encyclopedia if you're kind of looking at both the construction of forms and then also maybe like what their cultural significance is. And it does a good job of like importing some things. So that's that one. And then another one is what we looked at in the haiku workshop. This one. This is just like the go-to if you want to think about Japanese transliteralization, and then like, hey, maybe how like Westerners might process that. So this actually takes one of Basho's most famous Renga and goes link per link. It breaks down the interpretation of it, what the Kigo is, what the rule for that point is. So I really just followed along, and then I came up with this general list of rules that we should follow. And I'm sure there's some things that are left out that are just like kind of lost in tradition, because the idea is that the court always had these very archaic rules, and then Basho and his crew kind of just like took the parts that they wanted to. So I'm sure I'm losing something along the way.
Okay. Yeah, that's helpful. Because I know we've talked a little bit about slam itself, but I don't think we've ever talked fully about my relationship with haiku and how I sort of came to it.
Yeah. Shadow needs to cut the stream pretty soon, so let's give Shadow a chance to share his haiku and then and say his thing, and then we can spend some more time sharing some thoughts.
All right, cool. All right, go ahead.
Okay. NaPoMo celebrates poets and poetry lovers. My heart blossoms.
Perfect. So since I sort of stole your spot and like stole the echo, you still reference back to the original post because we were talking about National Poetry Month. So even though I was shysty, you still stole it underneath me, and then you fulfilled the obligation of blossoms. And of course, it's not an actual flower blossoms. You use that as a verb. So that's perfect. You did it perfectly.
Thank you.
Showing the skills.
Learning from y'all.
So I see that Mr. Fun is bouncing out. Thank you, Mr. Fun. I don't know if you have to go immediately or if you have a second to give us some feedback. If you have, maybe 90 extra seconds or so.
I can do that. Overall, I think that this really works. I really enjoy the space. I think in order to do this type of prompt, I think what we would probably have to have is have some type of template where we kind of give them the information about what's supposed to come next or what's supposed to go in the line before, not necessarily telling them exactly, giving them the freedom to write, but just kind of taking what you were giving us, Henzbo, and putting it so that people, if somebody comes in late, they can go back, read it, and follow along, and you wouldn't have to have somebody keep telling what has to go on.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think that might be a challenge.
I don't think so, because I think the way you explained it was pretty like spot on, and I think that it can just be shortened to just saying, okay, number one, all odd numbers are the haiku, all even numbers are the waikuku, and then just saying eliminating these particular items from, whatever it may be. I don't know. I mean, of course, it's going to take some type of strategizing, but I think it'll definitely work.
That's great feedback. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
Anytime.
Well, thank you for this whole week. You were great in the workshops, and I really appreciate you helping us write our first Renga Southern Friday.
Yep, and one thing that I've been doing, I've been writing 5 haiku a day for the 30 for 30, because last year I did 4. So this year I'm doing 5, and I'm still on track. Haven't messed up and haven't repeated myself yet.
Wow. Amazing.
Good work.
Y'all be breezy. Haiku is the shiznit.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, everybody.
Hit us with a salsa dance or something real fast before you go.
Sorry about that, y'all. That's what's called voguing.
Okay, I see you.
So IQ, I don't know if you saw enough to give feedback on the event, but I know you can just give us feedback on the workshop and on the echo. But I'm going to pass it to Shadow to give you a chance to kind of collect your thoughts, since we're kind of putting you on the spot. You kind of just got in the room.
All right.
So Shadow, what do you think? I'm really. First, I kind of want to hear your thoughts of the technology for this event, and then you see us being able to do this in San Antonio someday, in some kind of bar.
Are you talking about in person? Right?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, or just in any capacity. Can we make
this
an event?
I think it works really well in a digital space. I'm trying to imagine it in a live space. Like, what is the tool that we use to write the different lines on in a live environment? Is that a whiteboard? Is it a sheet of paper that gets passed around to everybody and gets read in its entirety at the end? Just trying to think of what the application would be.
Yeah. And I think that can depend on the type of venue we're able to secure. because like I know in the past we've been able to like secure art galleries, but they've been like, don't touch the wall, right?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Even in Fayetteville, when someone like drew a mustache on the flyer, you know, the art gallery was like, this is our gallery space, and they like treated it like the defacement of art. Remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. But
then
I would love to see this event in person. You know, I could just imagine doing what we were doing, right? Which is a bunch of drunk poets being silly. But then for me, when it came down to writing my haiku, that was like a moment of seriousness for me in the middle of all the silliness. And I really liked that because it felt like I was still doing something, even though we were having fun. But when it came to my time to actually write something, it was like, oh yeah, that's right. We are here to do some Renga stuff. So let me be serious for 2 seconds.
So one tool we've used before with teachers is they are these kind of like digital kind of like blackboards where each person gets a like kind of avatar, or like not an avatar, but like a name just before you can make your name. And then people can plug in whenever they want. So it could be like, you know, like think about like a trivia at Buffalo Wild Wings where everyone's got their device and they're looking up at the screen and they're adding. Maybe this could be a way where like someone could, just like at a karaoke, like go up, get ticket number 5. They learn that they have the 5th link. It's a haiku and they have to reference the moon. And then when it's their turn, they have 2 minutes to input that. Or else it like moves on or like auto-generates something. So that's like my thought too. Like if we could either go like totally digital or like anti-digital with this event, because you know this is a practice that they did 300 years ago before
any of the technology, right?
Before they even had the printing press, right?
Yeah, I could definitely see it in a live scenario.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes,
yeah, we can
hear you.
Okay, hopefully the cale's not too loud now. I can see it honestly working both ways. You know, like what Shao was talking about, for me it felt a bit like baseball, which is very, very Japanese as well as American.
I agree.
As in, you know, baseball, you got the on-deck circle. You also got the people who are, some of them are honed in entirely to the game. Others, they're at the game, but they also enjoy themselves in the dugout. But you take on a different mindset when you get in the on-deck circle because you're getting ready to be at the plate.
Exactly. You captured that perfectly, IQ.
Well, you gave me the setup. I mean, I've been at, I guess, a couple of haiku parties, and I don't know if I ever told you, Henzbo, I actually studied ancient Japanese literature and translation and contemporary Japanese literature and translation at uni.
I did not know that.
So, you know, we had to do haiku then. And of course, read, that's where I first really learned about Basho, etc. Living here on the other side of the world with, you know, and being in greater contact with people from Asian cultures. Because, you know, it's Japan, but, you know, also wrote haiku in China and Korea, you know.
Yeah.
I think you're on to a winner in terms of not only helping people who have been doing haiku for a long time enjoy it again, but also introducing people who are new to haiku to both the fun and the, you know, I'd say almost both the humor and the spiritual side of this recognized, I guess, Japanese form.
Yeah, and I think what, like, to respond to that, like, I think what you missed in the beginning is people really getting used to what we're doing.
Yeah.
But by the end, people are really doing some Renga moves of like shifting the narrative of like carrying on the season or like carrying on the pun. So there was like a small learning curve, but it seems like, you know, I mean, I think there's a difference between like Amanda picking it up and then Shadow picking it up. No offense to you, Shadow. But
yeah, I mean,
you know, you don't have a haiku blog, right? Like,
nope, I don't.
You know, so honestly, it seemed like the learning curve was pretty similar for both of you. And I don't know how you feel about that two-sided.
Well, it's pretty cool. I haven't started it or published it yet, but by the time August to October rolls around, I should have the first version of kissmyhaiku.com up.
What?
Yeah,
that's cool.
That is really cool.
So
that's a nice. That's a nice little shout out too.
But you know, and I've been trying to work out the best way that I want it to be presented. If it's going to be a blog or if it's going to be something more formal. But no, this has been fantastic, man. Like the workshops, I think especially if anyone attends the workshops, that you really were able to structure them in a way where it was conversational, but also key technical aspects of the art form, you covered them rather cleanly.
I love that.
And I could actually reflect on it through the rest of the day without it feeling taxing. You know, it was actually a bit of my own mental escape. So
well,
let me go ahead.
I was just saying thank you for that. And I shared this with both Siren and Shadow. Part of what I was doing is I also had a workshop with Dell Technologies, which was a nice corporate gig. So the workshops were a chance for me to pilot some content, get feedback on it. So I was really happy with the workshops, and I was very happy that the ways you both contributed to the dialogue and then also kind of set a standard for what was expected of the workshop. So thank you for that.
Welcome. And I'm so happy you were able to get in Ninja Scroll, The Last Avatar, or The Last Airbender, and Fight Club in the conversation, dude. That was priceless. Because, you know, for a lot of people, Fight Club is where they actually found out about haiku.
Yeah, and that's where like I want to kind of, like I don't care about Jack Kerouac, but like I understand for a lot of Americans, like that's their introduction, and I want to meet people where they are. But at the very least, I'm glad I got to make fun of Allen Ginsberg in a academic setting.
Can you guys both turn around so your back is to the screen? Nice. There we go. The only thing I would ask two things. One is that IQ, you try your camera. I don't think we ever got a chance to check your webcam. And then Henzbo, to close out our Renga, can you read the entire thing from top to bottom?
Sure,
okay, how do I turn it?
Like
sorry.
That.
All right, so that'll be the last thing we do, Henzbo. But for you, IQ, what you do is you walk up to one of the screens and you click on the plus button. I would recommend the one on the right-hand side. Yep. So you click the plus button, and when you click the plus button, the screen gets bigger to you. And then in the lower right-hand corner, there will be some icons.
Oops, I need to. Oh, so hit the zoom to the screen.
Correct.
And I'm looking for the icons now.
It should be in your lower right-hand corner.
Okay.
And there'll be one that looks like a camera that will allow you to share your webcam.
Oops. Where? Raise your hand, raise your hand. All right, so would that be on the screen itself?
No. So when you click on the screen, click on the plus button, the screen gets larger. Did that happen?
Right.
Okay. So now that the screen is larger, in your window, on your lower right-hand corner, there should be...
yeah, okay, now I found it. Yep, presentation tool and share webcam.
Yep.
Here we go. Share webcam, okay. Oh, there we go. Allow.
All right.
Yes, thank you.
Hey!
What's up?
Look at that. You look good, bro.
Wow. What's up, man? It's good to see all you cats.
IQ, I want you to know that you look the same as you did 10 years ago, which I don't know if that means that you look young now or old 10 years ago.
Oh, man. You're quite kind. I think I look similar, yes, but not exactly the same. I've got gray in the beard, which is quite hilarious. You know, it's not something I ever thought I'd see. So it's actually welcome, as strange as it might be for some people.
Yeah, I know what you mean. So because we're live streaming, tell people about yourself, where you are, what time it is, and what you've been doing all week with SoFri.
Oh, SoFri. I've been okay. First off, it's the 17th of April. It's Saturday morning. Actually, Saturday afternoon, 12:38 p.m.
National Haiku Day.
Thank you. It is? Oh, awesome.
Yeah, it's 4/17. Shadow, we're not there yet, but tomorrow is National Haiku Day. I don't know if you realize that.
That's cool. But yeah, I am. Yeah, oddly enough, I live in Geelong, Victoria, or East Geelong, Victoria, which I'm over 16 hours, I think, ahead of you right now. And I'm the father of two. I came to Australia in 2008, actually on a poetry as a business visa. I've been around Southern Fried since 1998 in Greenville. So yeah, I've been lucky to have met some fantastic poets. You know, to me, Jerry and Kirk Hardesty, it was wonderful reconnecting with them, because we don't get to talk nearly as much these days. But yeah, I read, write, perform, teach, and I'll be looking forward to helping people here learn a bit more about Southern Fried.
Official OG status.
And let's see, I've got 7 or 8 chapbooks, and then there are. I mean, you might remember this, Henzbo. Years ago, I got to see you in Western Kentucky.
Man, that was probably 2007 or 8.
Yeah, 2007, I think.
Maybe 14, 15 years ago.
That's just astonishing that the time has gone that quickly.
I know.
But yeah, I grew up I'm a native of Memphis, Tennessee, but also grew up in Western Kentucky, in a very small town called Providence. It's wild because I think that experience of being in two completely different natural environments, it really informed my writing. When I went to college and first got, I guess, really exposed to haiku. And I think what you did this week, it really was extraordinary for me, both as a poet, but also as an instructor or teacher. Looking at different ways of exposing kids and adults who still have the child within them, exposing them to something they can do, for life. Yeah. You there?
Awesome.
But I really do want us to come like August or October for us to do a tag team battle for a bottle of sake.
Well, I'm definitely open to sake battles. I don't know if I can say no to that.
Well, I was just thinking it'd be kind of cool if we each took a ceremonial sip from the bottle, but then we save the rest, and whoever won, we ship it to the team or wherever they are in the world. We ship the rest to them, so they get. It's like we are sharing from the same, pour. It's great.
Post-Rona.
So what?
I said
Oh,
post-Rona sharing, post-Rona sipping.
Yes, exactly. I mean, just to add that extra bit of ceremony.
Well, that's my question. That's my questions for you, IQ. I wanted to make sure if you wanted to add anything to the haiku. I know Shadow's about to have me read it, but we can add to it after I read it.
No, I'm looking forward to hearing you read.
Thanks. So last question is just asking you about your experience in the Echo. I know you had some troubleshooting issues, but I don't know if you had some unique experiences, and then we will stop holding you hostage on your screen.
Well, I think for me, I've never truly gamed on a desktop, and the avatar felt a bit like I was gaming. But yeah, outside of the whole issue with not knowing that the two-letter my nickname was going to cause an issue for the program, it's been fantastic just beginning to learn about the space and to wonder. That's something I'm looking forward to doing more of. And I do think that this platform will allow us to have a hybridization of live and digital. Because I mean, I'm curious, how many continents checked in? I checked in from Australia.
I know for our first workshop, we had someone from Canada, someone from South Africa, someone from Australia, and the US. I'm not sure if there was another one, but I know at least that's four countries represented right there.
That's fantastic, man. I think, there are a couple bugs. I do want to see a couple more dances added. You probably saw me / moonwalk and a couple other things. I was trying to do the splits, but it wouldn't do it. But no, it's been fun to use and fun to learn about. I'm looking forward to the next workshop, or time we get to meet up in this space with a short clap and a long clap. You know what I'm saying? And Shadow, could we get fist bump?
Well, so Shadow just said his mic stopped working. So
okay,
let's see if we can get you to click off of your camera icon.
You got it, man. It's good. It's good to see you stream, and I'm gonna click this now. All right?
Absolutely. So Shadow asked me to take us out, so I'm gonna click back on here. So I'm gonna see if I can share my video at the same time and then also read this, but I think I can. Looks like it. Oh, look at that. Hold on. Okay. I'm gonna scroll on it. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull up the. See, there you go. I'm in the sweet spot. So I can scroll on the little screen. Hard to scroll on the big screen. So haiku. So all right. I want to say thank you for everyone watching. Thank you for everyone that attended the Haiku Hullabaloo. This is a reading of the first ever constructed Renga by collaborative members of the SoFried community. So here we go. Haiku in echo space. A rippling water sound. across the shadows. A beach wave of silence, last night's humble dream, almost drowned. Don't blame the apple, my Max as old as Goldie. Bring on moon pie beer. In a film noir, sprayed paint sleeps with stolen apple trees. Poets connect. Words flow dark RC currents. Full bites of full moon. Shining stars in summer night. A cloud forms. Sake glass. Temporary break through heavy clouds. Sunbeam. Let's pretend we are thunder and rattle around in here. She believes music, dancing with wild delusions. The break of dawn blinds. Making bass on her eardrums. Life a journey best traveled. Weather-beaten bones, these long and winding rows, almost feel like home. Direction posts stretch taller. Sunlight lengthens hours apart. Child cries at party. Old robin pecks dawn window. Chirps new feathers sting. In the moonlight, we forget innocent poppies' first growth. Lunchtime quest for peace. Food trucks blossom, but the seagulls give zero flocks. Sea breeze smelling up the air. Speedboats skim past the beach stays. NaPoWriMo celebrates poets and poetry lovers. My heart blossoms. And that is the reading of our first collaborative Renga for Southern Fried. Thank you, everyone who participated. Thank you for Yogi for helping us set up this wonderful space today.
Thank you, Yogi.
Yeah, thank you for Siren for getting Missy Sake and for being like the best possible cheerleader and collaborator and book curator and also an amazing person. And thank you to Shadow for making all of this possible.
And thank you, Dr. Henzbo.
Some words of wisdom, but it sounds like his mic has gone out. That's it from our end. Thank you all for tuning in. So we're in like the third hour of the stream. So see y'all.
Well, thank you so much, Henzbo.
Thank you.
Peace.
So Shadow, I don't know if you are able to talk anymore, or maybe I'm just messing up you cutting the stream right now. I have no idea. He's messaging. He says 1 sec, cutting the stream. We like wrapped it up, and of course I'm like right. Turn around. Oh, are we getting get a nice photo? Let's do robot dance long. Okay. This is like how Peter and I danced on the boat at Southern Fried of 2015. This is what our real dance music looks like too. Important to know. So yeah, the clap lasts like half a second, and then you just get locked in